Okay, it's Wednesday, 24th of August 2016. My birthday was on Monday, 22nd of August, and I was 70 years old on Monday. And I made myself a special promise when I reached the age of 70. I made a promise to myself probably 25 years ago. And that was at a time, I'll always remember it vividly, it was September 1991. And in that September period, when I was living at Peyton Hall in Boxford, Suffolk, UK, in September 1991, over a period of about 5 days, non-stop, ceaselessly, there was this flow of writing through me, or that I had. I just couldn't stop myself writing above and beyond anything else. I didn't even know, I didn't really have a plan at all. But I started and it flowed. And that culminated in a little booklet called Christopher and the Knowledger. If you like, it's a one man's spiritual journey. It's the essence of one man's spiritual journey. And of course then I would have been about 45, as I'm 70 this week. Actually, that little booklet, when I read it, and I've read it so many times, contains the essence of much of what I've read, much of what I've contemplated, much of what I've meditated, much of what I've reflected on in moments of, if you like, deep thinking. And in the beginning I was somewhat surprised at what I'd written. And I came to the conclusion that this booklet was an expression of parts of me that needed to be expressed for me. I didn't particularly have any inclination to show it and share it with others, other than my nearest and dearest, my wife, my family, and some of my close friends. Even one, I shared it with Andy Burnett, who for about 10 years I worked with at Cranfield, lecturing on key results, while he was, for much of the time, a director of creativity. And we shared some common thoughts on many occasions, but after reading this little booklet, he referred to me ever since as Cosmic Ron. So I shared a little bit, I'm honest, with one or two on the web, and I did get some surprising results from people who, not many, I must confess, but I did get people who even thought that perhaps I was writing about them. They felt that reading this was a story of them themselves, which was very encouraging. But nonetheless, I chose not to share this in any significant way, and considered it to be primarily my thinking and a summary of my thinking, perhaps to myself. But what's interesting about Christopher and the Knowledger is that it's not just a summary of what I'd been thinking and reading and contemplating and meditating, but actually it's a plan of what I should do. It actually suggested or told me what I should be focusing on and what I should be doing. And I have to confess, that's what I've been doing. I've been implementing what Christopher and the Knowledger said I should do. In essence, without going into any detail, it's about teaching, educating people of a new way of thinking, a new mindset, another perspective, if you like, of who we are or who we may be, another glimpse at reality and truth. Educating, teaching people, but also, as importantly, is recognizing that technology networks, global technology networks, were going to get better and better. In fact, when I wrote this, it was before the internet, and shortly after that, the global internet exploded. And it also talked about wireless networks and mobile networks and how people could essentially become more connected together, a far higher degree of interconnectivity, interdependence, better able to communicate, collaborate, cooperate, co-create together. And how my job, or my purpose, if you will accept that for the moment, my purpose to teach people how to use these networks, both the human networks and the technology networks, all within a system that in the booklet we called Knowledger. And I subsequently developed training programs around the global knowledge economy, around knowledge, around communication, collaboration, co-creation, learning, ideas, innovation, and also for me to teach people how to use these networks, to develop and use them, primarily to teach. But I chose not to share this for a variety of reasons. I think the first one was at the age of 45, I was pursuing a professional career, and I didn't think it was appropriate to share Christopher and the Knowledger at that time as the basis of my professional work. That's completely changed now, that's completely different. I think secondly, I may not have personally had the self-confidence about this, wanting to share it. And at 45 I was at a stage in my life where I was still influenced by and concerned by other people's opinions of me professionally. So I made myself a promise that I would keep Christopher and the Knowledger as a plan of mine, very, very low profile. But I promised myself that when I reached the age of 70, I would share and focus on Christopher and the Knowledge more openly. Because regardless of what people will think, and people will have varying opinions as always, varying perspectives that range from a complete rejection of these thoughts and ideas to a complete acceptance perhaps, and to something in between. But I didn't mind, and I don't mind, the consequences professionally now in doing so at this age. And I feel that I should be, could be, and will be focusing more on spiritual knowledge spiritual philosophy, if you like, not a specific religion or non-religion, but any religion or non-religion that shares common views about oneness and love and compassion and knowledge and wisdom. This is what I mean by a spiritual philosophy, and I want to spend more time on that now. I have a very strong compulsion to do so. And so this is my video commitment today, having reached my 70th birthday, where I promise to myself, as I did promise many years ago, to bring Christopher and the Knowledger to the forefront and see what develops from there and where it takes us. But essentially, I'll start to do this by making a short video of each chapter. It only takes 20 minutes to read, and so each chapter is less than 5 minutes to read. So I'll make a short video for each chapter, which is a start. It will also give me an audio if I wanted to express this. I'm going to take the master text, get an illustrator to do at least one illustration per chapter that represents the 7 key messages, points, if you like, and produce a book, a little book, which I can initially circulate to my family and friends, and then to others who are interested. That's my promise.